Hi, everybody. It's Michelle Hill, your legacy builder at Winning Proof, and welcome to another episode of Winning Proof Unscripted. You're going to be so excited today, as I am, because I have my client, Bitisho Mawazo, and she just wrote the book, My Journey to a New World, and we're just going to have a discussion about her family's journey and about her book journey and everything in between. So Bitisho, welcome. It's so nice to have you on Winning Proof Unscripted.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity today. I'm so glad to be here with you today, Michelle.
Me too. So let's start out by sharing a little bit about your story and about why you wrote your memoir. We'll touch on that later, the why, but just tell people a little bit about your story. Why is it your book called My Journey to a New World? What happened?
Well, Michelle, as you know, I'm from Africa. I'm from the Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the way I found myself here in the United States, especially in Salinas, California, is a long story. So it started with the war in east of Congo. First, it was war in Rwanda, with genocide in Rwanda. And then everybody left Rwanda and went to east of Congo, where I'm coming from. And from there, everything went downhill. So I have my baby just after giving birth, 3 months after. In October, the war reached our area and we have to flee. And from there, we went to Tanzania in Kigoma. And from Kigoma, we keep going. We went to Zimbabwe, we went to Zambia, and we went to Botswana. So we stayed in Botswana, is where we did ask for asylum seeker as a refugee in Botswana. And I can say that I don't know if it was good luck or bad luck. Botswana refused to give us asylum there because we came far away from Congo to Botswana. According to their laws, we're supposed to stay in one of neighboring country. And we were not in Zambia or Tanzania or Burundi or Rwanda or all those neighboring countries, but we found ourselves in Botswana. And they said, according to their law, they cannot give us refugee status to stay there. And so they handed us to United Nations to look where they can put us. And the United Nations found the United States. United States accept us as refugee, and how we came here.
Okay, now when you say we, what family members made all of these moves? Who is we?
When I say we, I mean my husband, myself, my son Harley, my daughter Melissa, and my niece Cheka. In fact, Melissa was born in refugee camp in Botswana because we stayed there. We lived there for 3.5 years. So Melissa is product of refugee camp.
Wow. What was going through your mind as you're making all of these moves to flee? Was it, oh, here we go again? Or was it just a matter of like sheer survival?
Well, at first, I was confused. Everybody in the family was confused. We didn't know what to do. But earlier, because we saw the Rwandese people running from their country to our country due to genocide. And in my heart, I was just thinking that, oh, are we going to just to be like those refugees, those Rwandese, when they came and their life was just so hard? And I was very, very anxious to see that this will be my life. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself that, I don't have control of any of this. I have to accept this situation, and we have to accept it and move on and adapt to any circumstance that will come to our way. And that is how we survived.
Okay, and did you go through periods of discouragement and fear and all that during that journey?
Of course. Fear was always there because you don't know what will happen. You don't know if you will survive. You don't know. We didn't even know where we were going. We just kept going, and until when we were in Botswana, and there again we were refused. The Botswana government refused us, and again we were again confused. We didn't know what to do. Fortunately, we were under United Nations in the refugee camp, because United Nations that take care of refugees. So fortunately for us, since Botswana refused us, then United Nations asked for United States if they can take us. And we were lucky because as a family, United States like to take families because they know that you come as family. You come here as a family. They know that you will make sure that you work hard for your family, and that is what we found here. That you come here, you work hard, and you will make it.
Yes, absolutely. And my big question too, and then thank you so much for sharing that. There is a whole bunch more, which you have to get the book to read. There's a whole bunch more to that story. But of all the places in the United States that you could have, landed, why Salinas? Why the Oakland area of, that side of the United States? How did you get there instead of, say, New York or Florida or anywhere else?
Yeah, that is a mystery because I remember they told us that, United States accepted your family. And so in the refugee camp, it was not only my family, we were so many families there, but among all those families, there were only 2 families that they were accepted they were going to California in the Bay Area. And it was my family and another family. And we didn't know at the last minute, when they did all the immigration paper, United Nations did all the immigration paper for us, is when they told us that it was like 1 week before we will travel, is when they told us that you will be going to California in San Francisco. So, and is when and the other family too came with us in San Francisco. So it's when we found out that we'll be in San Francisco. And after we came to San Francisco, then we found out the agency that took us told us that, I know that you've been told that you've been in San Francisco, but here San Francisco is very expensive the cost of living is very high for a refugee. So we will bring you to Oakland, and is how we ended up in Oakland.
Okay. And that's so amazing that you just came to a new land not knowing anything about anything. You just, okay, you're going to place us here. Okay, we'll be placed here. And knowing you, the little bit about you that I know about you, you're going to bloom wherever you're planted. I see that strength in you. So my next question is, it's hard enough to maintain a successful marriage. under optimal circumstances, but you and your husband have been through incredibly challenging circumstances. And you tell me how long you've been married.
We've been married 29 years. By the time I was writing the book, it was 26 years. And oh my, marriage, I didn't think that I was thinking that, well, my mom and my dad, they've been married forever, so I'll be married forever too. And I was thinking that everything is rosy in marriage. And then later I found out that no, it's up and down, up and down. But even though we went through all of that, marriage was not easy. But we managed to maintain it and to make sure that our children are with us, and to help them also to be adults that they will contribute into the society.
Oh, that's so great. And if Matthias were your husband, Matthias, were here in the interview, what would he say that he appreciates about you so much to contribute to your 29-year marriage?
Oh man, every time around the table, I will come up with an idea, and he will always tell the kid, I don't understand your mom. She's always with this idea and she's very smart. Myself, I couldn't even think about that, but the way she's thinking about it, and then the way she's saying how she will execute it and to go to reach out the goal that she wanna reach, I just don't understand it. He will always say to me that you are very smart. You are very smart. And if you were not you, I don't know how our life will be today, even for the kids. So for that, I really, really appreciate my husband telling me that.
That is so great. And I have to flip the script, I'll say, and ask you, what have you appreciated about him, along the way, that why you have stayed married to him for 29 years?
Well, I appreciate Matthias because every time I'll come with idea, with project that we have to do, he always tell me, Bitisho, if we have the money, if you feel like we can do it, go ahead and do it. And that really glued me to him, that giving me that opportunity to do what I feel like is good for the family, and without any hesitation, that was the best thing for Matthias, for our relationship. And it was, if we were success in our relationship, that did contribute to our success marriage.
That's awesome. I'm glad. I celebrate long-term marriages, and I know it isn't easy, and I know there's ups and downs for sure. But I applaud you for that many years. So that's great. So okay, I have one more question before I want to go in a certain direction, but how did your kids adjust to all of the moves and all of the, major life transitions, like moving from Africa to the United States? And even when you were in Africa, just moving from country to country within that continent, how did they hold up?
First, they were confused. They didn't know what we were doing, what we went through. As soon as we reached one place, then we had obligation to explain to them why we are doing this, and just to let them also understand, because it was confusing to me, it was confusing to my husband. We are adults, but imagine the kids. So we had to explain to them. At first they didn't understand, but after we reached new place, we have to explain to them, this is what is happening and why we are doing it. And moving here, it was good because at their age, because Harley was 4 years old, and Melissa was 3 years old. So it was perfect age for them to start education here. And now you can hear them, they don't even have accent. They're American. So starting schooling here, my niece, my children, and when they finish, when in the middle of elementary school, we moved from Oakland to Salinas. And then that was another shock to them, because Oakland is almost 80% Black people, and Salinas is 80% Latino. So it was big change for them, and they couldn't understand. And every time they'll come back and tell us the story about what happened, that they're only one Black kid in the classroom. They don't understand why we moved from Oakland, where they were majority, and here they are now minority in the classroom. So we had to explain to them every time that color doesn't matter. You are just intelligent like them. This is just skin color that is different, but everything else is the same. And you will be you will do it. You will make it.
Yeah. And your kids have been successful because they're both, I know your daughter is graduated from high school. She's graduated from college. She has a college degree. And your son, I think, has
both. Yes, both of them. Both of them.
Yeah.
My
I'm trying to think of the pictures in the book.
Harley has MBA. My son, he has MBA, Masters in Business Administration. And my daughter, Melissa, she has also MBA, Masters in Business Administration. And my niece has a bachelor degree in education. So all of them did very well. And they did adapt in American culture very well.
That is so awesome. And when you buy the book, people, you'll see there are a lot of pictures in there, and you'll see the journey of this family. It's so exciting. So I want to kind of backtrack just a little bit and kind of bring you to the point where you land in Oakland. Did you know how to speak any English at that point? Did you come here just with minimal English? And what happened from that point? What was the first thing you did?
Oh man, we landed in at the international airport in Oakland, without knowing nobody, nobody at all. And at the when we landed, so we saw people coming to wait for their loved one and family members, but we didn't have any loved one here or any family members here. But then we start looking through the people, and we saw one guy with our name written on the paper, is putting it up. And I told my husband, I think somebody has our name. And we looked, and then we saw that then our name, and then we follow the guy. And then of course, then he said, yeah, I'm here to, to help you guys. It's me who will be helping you how to adjust with your new life here. So, and then he told her that he was from IRC, International Rescue Committee. Is an agency, non-profit agency that works with the government to help refugees resettled here in the United States. So that is how we started our journey here in United States.
That is amazing. And I know a lot of people say Americans are so, and I'll use the word mamby-pamby, kind of weak, and kind of, we just want the best of everything, and we don't really know how to deal with hardship and all that. So did you notice a stark difference between, you've had this journey through countries of Africa, you've fled for your life, you've done all these things. Did you notice that when you got here? Did you notice a stark difference of survival instinct versus the easiness that people seem to have?
Yeah, the minute we came here, I started noticing that So because remember, I'm from Africa, and then what we can see on TV there is just very rosy life here. Everybody look like they are millionaire people. They have money. Life is easy. But when we came the next morning, I woke up and went outside just to see around, and I said, "Oh my goodness!" And when I started seeing that, oh, there is people that are not looking so good, but I didn't know how to call them or how. And then I asked another person who was there because we were in a hotel, and then he told me that no, that is homeless. And then I said, what is homeless? What do you mean homeless? What do you mean? And then he said, no, homeless here, there are people who do not have a place to live. And I was shocked to see an homeless in America. Like, I never think that I would see an homeless. Like, I just think that everybody here has to be rich, has to have nice life.
Yeah.
So, and remember, at that time, I didn't even know English. I was just like putting together word here and here just to understand life. But after all, it was, and then I find out that no, here life is very hard. You have to work hard to make it, but you have to be focused and you will make it.
Yeah, thank you for that answer. That was very poignant, because people do think that we are all rich and that most of us are white, and that most of us, when you just have a picture when you're from another country, and you saw not like that, and you just saw a slice of homelessness. You know, when you consider LA, Los Angeles, New York, and all over the United States, homeless is a deal. It's a big old deal.
Yeah. And that's why after living in Oakland for 4 years, we decided that we will move out from Oakland to Salinas. But it was because of my husband wanted to come to school here in Monterey area, where they had a school that he wanted to go. And that was the reason we moved from Oakland to Salinas, so that he can pursue his education. And is where he got his master's degree.
And you're a little bit educated too, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Tell us about your education and about what you do.
Yes. So after we came, 1 year after we came, so we decide, me and my husband, that we have to go back to school. So we went back to school. I went and registered myself to Hill College. It was a private business college, and I was there for 2 years, and I got my AA degree in computer business administration. So after that, because I'm a mother, I have to give a chance to my kids to go to school. So after I received my AA degree, I concentrated to be a mother so that my kids can have good education at school and then at home. And my promise to Matthias was, after the kids, they're done schooling and he's done schooling, I'll go back to school. And after that, I went back to school. After my kid graduated, I went back to school. And Matthias did finish his doctorate program. I went back to school.
Wow.
And right now I work for Monterey County Office of Education in the Special Education Department. Para-Educator. I work with special ed students.
And that's a special love of mine, because at a high school, that's the career path, or the college, the schooling that I wanted to get. So I love that you do that. And special education kids, they can be challenging, as I'm sure you know, but they can be just bring a lot of joy as well.
Yes, yes. I've seen all. I'm happy when I see the kid that at first he cannot even hold his pencil, and then at the end of the school year he can trace, he can make circle, he can make all those figure that he didn't make at first time. That make my day. I'm happy. It's little thing, but it does make my day.
Yeah, it has to, because there is a lot of joy in that. Now, to complete, I don't know if your American dream is completed, but you bought a house too, you and your husband.
Yes, yes. After being here in the United States 4 years, we were able to buy our home. And I I told my husband, I don't want to be, we've been living in an apartment, and the next move, I don't want to move into another apartment, please. I want to move into a home, into a house. So we bought a house, and moving from Oakland to Salinas is when we bought our first house. And at the same time, Matthias had to go to school in Monterey. So Salinas was very closer to Monterey. And that was our biggest achievement around at that moment. So we bought our first brand new home, which was 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. And we really did enjoy that home. And after 2 more years, we bought our second home, which was 5 bedrooms. So, and then the first home we rented out, and then we were living in the second home. And unfortunately, the 2008, the housing meltdown came.
Yep.
And like everybody else was caught in that mess. We did file for bankruptcy, and we lost 2 homes.
Ooh.
But after 7 years, we came up again. We bought another home, and that's where we are living right now. And it's a very beautiful house in Salinas.
That just warms my heart so much. I just, if I am like laughing, it's because I'm so joyful of what you guys have accomplished, where a lot of people would say, I can't. I can't. How have you transferred those maybe feelings of what are we doing to buying your house after the 2008 meltdown? I mean, how do you guys keep going where so many people have that I can't attitude?
I think that comes with our history, because this was not the first time we start all over. As I said at the beginning, we left everything in Congo. We started all over, and we keep starting all over. So we have that mentality that starting all over, it's a blessing, because every time you start all over, you learn from your mistake, and you improve. The next time you do better than the last time.
Absolutely. I love that. I just love that. So we're going to turn a corner and we're going to talk about your book. What prompted you to write a book about your journey instead of just telling people one at a time and, just sharing your story? What prompted you to write a book about your journey?
First of all, I think that my life, just the beginning of my life, was interesting. So, and the more I am moving up, the more I'm growing up, the more interesting stuff just keep following me. And then I said, I think that is better to share my life with other people. And I started thinking about that. And one day during Corona, when everybody was down, I said to myself, I think this is the opportunity for me to sit down and write a book instead of being frustrated about Corona. I have to do something. Something has to come good from this Corona time. So I took that time, I sat down and I started putting all my idea together. And the idea of writing a book came from there. Now, after I wrote the book, and in the middle of writing the book, I started watching, celebrities, trying to know where they came from. I know that they know that they are from Africa, but they don't know which Africa they're coming from. Mm. And I can see, I was watching the show, Finding Your Root. People just looking to know where they came from. Yes, Africa is a continent, it's not a country. In Africa, we have 52 countries. So you cannot just say, yes, I'm from Africa, but from Africa, where? Are you from Congo? Are you from Nigeria? Are you from Ethiopia? Are you from South Africa? So yeah. Africa is a continent. And I'm thinking to myself, 50 years, 100 years from now, my great-great-great-grandkids, they will be in the same situation. They will not know where we came from. So, and I said, this is another thing that I have that give me motivation, that I have to write this book. So I went ahead and started writing. And here we are, the book is done, and I'm so happy that I did that. And I'm sure that even my great-great-great-grandkids will be happy to have this document that will show them where they came from, where the great-great-great-grandma came from. And at least they will know our customs and our culture, a little bit of our culture in the book, which I think that will help them.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to know where you came from to know who you are and where you're going. And
sure.
It's funny because some people, like in a heritage, like I like this certain thing this certain way. I wonder why. I just like it. And then you read your family's history. Oh, that's why I like this a certain way, and it might not ever be talked about, but it helps you understand your heritage. And to me, it just keeps on, it really creates a deep root system for your heritage, because your book is out. It can't be taken back. And so all these future generations are going to know who they are and where they came from, and the strength and resilience of their ancestors, which is you right now.
Yes. And then once that clicked in my mind, I said, this is another reason that I have to write this book. I have to write this book. And that is what I did.
Now, how did from working with Sherry, who came before me, the writing person, or I don't know, what would you call her?
Sherry is a person that really helped me this thing to happen. She does help you come with your ideas, and then she will help you to organize your ideas, to make into a book. So she's great in doing so, and I really appreciate her job, and she made my dream come true.
Yeah, she did. And I know she doesn't call herself a writing consultant, but that's what she does, because you had already written your book. She just made the words pretty on the page. As I used to tell my clients, is that you just take what somebody has done and you just kind of massage it a little bit and make it stand out on the page. So she's so great at that. And then once you got into, and that's where my part came into, is that once the writing is done and you have all these pieces, dozens of little pieces of puzzle to put together, did you feel sometimes overwhelmed with that? Or what was your experience like going through that part with just the details and me coming at you and texting you and I need this and that and, you know, do this reminders and this and that. I mean, how did you feel about that?
Oh man, because after writing the book, after we were done with Sherry, and to me, I was thinking that, oh, now everything is done. The book is already there. Now it's just, I'll just go and publish it.
Yeah,
And
you're
and
just
then
starting.
I called back Sherry. So now I'm ready to publish my book. What can I do? And then she said, well, I know somebody who will really help you to publish it at low cost, like the cost that you can afford. And I say, I would be pleased to know that person. And she sent me all your information, all Michelle's information. And I was there. I contacted you and you took my hand and you showed me step by step what to do. So publishing a book is not just, you have the book together and now here you go, you can just go ahead and publish it. No, there's so many steps that I didn't know until when you start, sending me those text messages, emails. You need to do this. You need to look for we need to look for somebody who will do the reading, who will read it and who will proof it. And we have to look for somebody who will, do the cover page. And I'm like, man, I didn't know that we will have to go so many, steps to make sure that the book is all together.
Yes.
So I'm really, really happy and very satisfied with the job that you did.
Oh, and thank you. I love it.
I mean, it was a team that we did this, and at the end, the book came very good, and it was on Amazon. The first day was a best-selling book.
Yes, #1 new release. And, I love what I do, but I think often, like you said, exactly, I've written a book. What, maybe one other step to get it on Amazon, but there's so many other steps, the cover, and you have a website as well, and all that, all the pieces that go together. And what would you tell writers? What would you tell people who want to write a book and get published? What is the best piece of advice you could give them based on your experience?
The best piece of advice I can give them is really to be patient. And the first thing is to gather your information, your thought, what you want your book to look like. After you have that, then have somebody, because most of us, we have the material, but we know what we wanna put in our book, but organizing the book to your thinking, your thought to be a book, you have to have somebody who knows how to do it. So, and once you have that somebody who will help you, and for me it was Sherry, was that person that organized my thought to put in together to come a book. And after that, for a person who wanna write a book, then don't think that it will be easy, just you're going to publish it. No, at that step, you need also to look for somebody who knows how to do the publishing. For me, it was Michelle, that was that person who really helped me to put all those ideas. Where Sherry left, you took over, and you came up with your team, and the team really worked together. I contacted you, you contacted me. Any places where I had issues, it was easy to ask you. Good. It was easy to ask the other team members that they were there. And even though it was over the Zoom, but we did make it work.
We did. We
did,
did
yes.
make it work. And that's the important thing. And I have to interject here and say you have been such a joy to work with. I am very thankful that Sherry connected us, and I love Sherry too. She just makes everything look great, on the page, and I really respect her talent for that. And but you were a joy to work with. You have been, just to see your family's journey and to go deep in the manuscript and just see what you have been through and see that you don't quit. You do not quit. Am I right?
Thank you so much, Michelle, for pointing that out. And I feel like just in life, there's no point of quitting. So just learn from your mistake and move on, because life doesn't stop. You think that you lost or you are just a failure, but life, it just keeps going. Your bills still there. You have to pay them. You have to think about tomorrow, and just keep going until we die, I guess, is when you don't move anymore. But as long as you're alive, yes. And that is part of life. You fail today, tomorrow you learn from your mistake and you move up. And that is my ideology. That is my value that I put in my family, my kids, and my friend, and my family members. Just quitting is not an option. Just keep going.
Yes, and your book is a testament to that. And I will ask you the final question, besides asking you where people can connect with you. I want to ask you what, at the beginning of the first time we met, I believe, on Zoom, and I asked you, what do you want readers to take away when they read the last page of your book? And I'm going to ask you that now. What do you want when everybody that watches this goes on Amazon, and I'll leave the links. I'm going to leave all the links in the show notes. But what do you want readers to take away when they finish that last page?
I want the reader to know that life is not easy. And as a human being, we do adapt. The new circumstances comes, you will adapt. Just don't have those thoughts that you think that, oh, I'm done. I cannot move anymore. And that is what I really want people who will read my book to know, that you can fail today, but tomorrow you will be up. You will stand up and keep going. And for the family, I did have the value that we give to our kids, and then I can see them today that they're doing good. They're doing great from the value that we gave them. And for the marriage, everybody know that you have to know that to understand that marriage is not rosy, is up and down, and you can go through it. I did it, you can do it too. And for the education, I know that some people say, oh, I'm too old, I cannot go to school anymore, blah, blah, blah. But I say, no, just I'm taking one class at a time, and I know that I will finish. So that is my goal. And I want everybody who will read the book to come out with something that will help them reading my story, use my story and implement into your life somewhere. It may be marriage, it may be children, it may be education, it may be moving one place to another place. That is what really I want people to take away from my book. And also my culture, that the way we do wedding here is different from how we do wedding in my country. So, but at the end, the result is the same, is two people together. It doesn't matter Congolese wedding culture or American wedding culture. at the end is just to put two people together. And that is what I want people to come out with my book.
That is awesome. It will not be disappointing in any way. You go buy this book and just read it. It's not a thick book, you know, it's a thin book, so it's an easy read, but it's a meaty read. There's a lot in there, and I would recommend it to anybody and everybody who has listened to this, who knows somebody who could benefit from this book. And that's all I have to say. And my final question to you, Bitisho, is how can people connect with you?
Well, people can connect with me. I do have a website, which is www.myjourneytoanewworld.com. And I do have a contact tab where you can leave your name, your email address, where I can contact you. And the title of the book is My Journey to a New World, written by Bitisho Mawazo.
Yes, and I will put all of the links. Are you on social media as well?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook, and I'm on WhatsApp.
Wow, okay. And all under My Journey to a New World, or under your name?
So I'm on WhatsApp, I'm under my name, Bitisho Mawazo. And on my Journey to a New World, I'm under Bitisho Mawazo I'm under My Journey to a New World at gmail.com.
Great, 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 great. Thank you so much for taking a Saturday afternoon and talking with me and just spreading all your wisdom and love and joy all over the screen.
Thank you, Michelle, for the opportunity. And again, everybody, this is a book that, you read it within 2 to 3 days, you're done, and you'll get more from it. It's written by somebody who lived through all this situation, and it's true. It's not fiction. It's really amazing. Thank you again, Michelle, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. And everybody, until next time, thank you for watching another episode of Winning Proof Unscripted.